Oh, he's got his own mic. Hey.
Let's try this. Well, very good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls. Indeed, I am Red 10. I am the supervisor with the Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team, the Red Arrows. Well, I'd like to say a big thank you to everybody who have braved the rain and the awful conditions we've had throughout the day for staying out so long to see us perform. Well, the eagle-eyed amongst you might have seen 9 Red BAE Systems Hawk aircraft just get airborne over behind us here. They're just getting together, forming a little box route. We just built a box route into our pre-display routine so that if we do get delayed on the ground, we can cut corners to ensure we arrive on time. So I'm hoping Red 1 will be here in exactly 5 minutes to start the display. It's been quite a frustrating day. We were due to perform, just talk to Red 1, excuse me a second.
One of the old telephones.
So Red 1 has just told me they were airborne a little bit late, but he's going to do his best to get here bang on time. Yeah, so it's been a frustrating day. We were due to perform over in Portrush, at Airways Portrush this afternoon at 1 o'clock. But on my way there in a Squirrel helicopter, unfortunately, with the cloud and visibility just got too low and we had to turn back. So we made it all the way just to off the coast of Northern Ireland before then said enough's enough. We turned around and came back to Prestwick Airport. So it was very sad that we had to cancel that display. And then we've been keeping a good eye on the weather today. It's been in and out. We're a little bit worried about the cloud on the hills over to our left-hand side here, but we're keeping a good eye on it and monitoring it for our performance. Now, we do have 3 types of display we can fly, depending on the cloud base and visibility. Our full display, which sadly we won't be seeing today, needs a cloud base of 5,500 feet. If it's lower than that, but above 2,500 feet, then we can fly our rolling display. But today, Squad Leader Andy Tagg in the tutor said we've got around a 1,600-foot cloud base, and that in fact has lowered since he put on his performance. So we're looking at a flat display. Whether we can complete the entire performance or not, I will have to keep you updated. It's been a very busy time for us since we were last here in air. At the end of last season, we took 12 of our aircraft all the way to China and back. It was a 22,000-mile round trip. We had to stop 22 times to refuel on the way to China. We stopped in 19 countries. We actually displayed in 18 of them. And in a 9-week tour, it's estimated that we performed, whether live, online or on television, to over 1.1 billion people, promoting British prosperity, demonstrating the very best of British and supporting British business. So it was a really, really useful tour, and I was very proud to have been able to take part in that. So it was 9 weeks of promoting the best of British, and then we came back from that at the start of December into our training, ready to work up for this season's display. We got our public display authority in around June, and now we're getting a very busy month of August, in which we performed 29 public displays. And now we're actually getting towards the end of our domestic season. Next weekend we'll see the end of our domestic season, and then we're taking 11 of our jets on tour again, all the way through the Middle East for around 5 weeks, with exactly the same goal of promoting British prosperity. Any of you who are involved in the Royal Air Force's Museum Names on a Plane campaign, I can tell you that today Red 1 is flying serial number XX322, which has thousands of names on either side of the tail fin, and people who have paid a donation to the Royal Air Force Museum to have their name on a plane. Red 1 will be flying that aircraft this afternoon. So if you have supported that campaign, thank you very much, and please know that it's in the formation here to display for you today. But when the jets arrive, they're going to be in a formation we call wall. This is a huge wide formation. The jets will be flying at 400 miles an hour. The formation is measuring around 1,000 feet wide. So if you can look over to the back left, you'll see 2 formations, reds 1 to 5 at the front, reds 6 to 9 at the back, as they gather together.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Yeah, I can see them.
What they're actually doing, normally I talked about that boxy route they would fly. Unfortunately, some of the high ground in the surrounding area has meant they can't fly that boxy route. So they've literally just been flying in circles behind us, trying to burn off some of the fuel they've got on board so that they don't start the display too heavy. They're now getting together as a 9-chip. You saw a 5 and a 4. They're getting together as a 9-chip formation, and they will be starting very soon. It will be starting with a flat display red one, as said. What they're doing now is getting the aircraft in trim, so they fly at a certain speed in a certain formation, so that the aerodynamic surfaces are all featuring at the same speed, and then they will trim the aircraft to get those surfaces in the right place, so that for the entire display they have to make minimal control input changes where possible. That's what they're doing. They're trimming the jets, they're priming the smoke system, so getting the red, white and blue smoke into the pipe so that it all comes on at the right time when the pilots select it. So now I can see 9 headlights coming towards us. Everybody here in air, are we ready to see the red arrows? Well, I'll tell you something for everybody around the bus. If your claps and cheers are loud enough, I will use my radio and transmit them to the pilots so that they can hear how much you're enjoying it. Do you think that's a good idea? Yeah! It's not a very good radio. You need to be about 10 times louder than that. So now we can get a little bit of a practice going. 9 headlights are rolling out towards us with that grey cloud backdrop. That was wall go. They're widening into that massive formation, so it is nearly time, ladies and gentlemen. Get your cameras ready. Let's have a huge round of applause as we welcome the Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team for 2017. It is the Red Arrows! Red one enters a left-hand turn. He now calls the pilots into Phoenix formation. Reds 4, 5, 8 and 9 are moving a beam. Reds 2 and 3, Reds 6 and 7 move to the outsides behind 2 and 3. They're now around 6 feet from wingtip to wingtip. And at the front there on his own is Red one. He is squadron leader David Montenegro. It's Monty's 3rd and final year as the team leader. He is a former Hawk flying instructor and Tornado F3 air defense pilot. He first joined the Red Arrows in 2009. He left in 2011, having led the synchro pair. Now in from the left. Keep your eyes on the outside pilots. This is Phoenix. Reds 8 and 9 there pitch up to the very back of the formation to form the shape of an aircraft, specifically Spitfire, and I'll talk more about that in a second. On the leader's right wing in this shape is Red 2. He's the first of our new pilots, Flight Lieutenant Toby Keeley. Toby's a former Tornado GR4 pilot who then became a Hawk flying instructor, but not on this version of Hawk. He instructed on the Royal Air Force's newest advanced jet trainer, we call the Hawk T Mark II, a much more relevant training platform for training our 4th and 5th generation fighter pilots. So over to the front right, you'll see 3 smokes on. They're about to roll out towards us, then enter a right-hand turn. Here come those headlights again. They are about to present Spitfire.
Coming right now. Oh, there we go. Bye. Now, tightening.
This is Spitfire! We've introduced the shape of Spitfire this year to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the Royal Air Force's Battle of Britain Memorial Flight, or BBMF as it's known. And the flight exists to commemorate all those who have lost their lives in service with the Royal Flying Corps or Royal Air Force since 1914. And the motto of the flight is "Lest we forget." Arguably the most important motto of any military unit, and something we really must remember every sacrifice every military member has made. So, Spitfire is in the gloom over front left, and on the leader's left wing in Spitfire is Red 3. He's the next of our new pilots, Flight Lieutenant Dan Lowes. Lowes' background is solely as a Typhoon pilot. You saw the Typhoon display earlier. He spent a number of tours on the Typhoon and became a qualified weapons instructor. So now, coming towards us from the front left, here they come again, 7 smokes go on. Get ready for a fantastic manoeuvre.
8, 9, roll. Go.
This is Tornado. Here we go with the blue and red smoke. Reds 8 and 9 roll around the other 7 aircraft. Red 1 now enters a left-hand turn. He's about to make it much harder for these guys. They're pulling 3G up the front as Reds 8 and 9 roll around the other 7. Red 8 finishes his final roll in the Tornado and the smoke is going off. Now you'll see Reds 2, 3, 4 and 5 move to the very back of the formation and beam Red 7's aircraft. Reds 8 and 9 are going to tuck in behind and they are soon to form the shape of a fabulous feat of British aviation engineering excellence. It is the shape of Concorde. You can just see that shape taking form now as they continue the left-hand turn. Red 1's about to tighten to around 3.5 G. A little bit more power coming on the engines as the speed builds up. The white smoke is about to come on. Let's have a big round of applause now for Concorde! At the very bottom of the formation as we look at it is Red 5. Now normally we take 2 or 3 brand new pilots into their team every year, but this year we have a returning former Red Arrows pilot has come back to the formation. Red 5 is Flight Lieutenant Chris Lyndon Smith. He's a former Tornado pilot and Hawk instructor. He first joined the team in 2011. He left in 2013, having been the leader of the synchro pair. That's him over at the top of the formation now. As we've reversed it round, you'll see the 3 aircraft on each wing moving forward to form our trademark shape. They'll soon be coming in from the right-hand side with all 9 jets smoking white.
Let it in. Out. Rolling. Out.
So now from the right-hand side, we're in the shape of diamonds. 9 smokes are on.
Come in. Right now. Then half right. Now tight.
So those smokes go off in this right-hand turn. Now part of our flat show only, we're about to see another shape form. It's a big T-shape. This is going to be Dagger. Reds 8 and 9 are moving to the back of the formation. Red 7's just tucking forward there. So we've got a big T-shape being formed. Red 1's just called tightening, squeezing now to around 4G in this turn. They're about to put the smoke on again. Get your cameras ready as we present Dagger. Well, the smoke going off there as the pilots roll out signifies the end of the first part of this Red Arrows display. I'm just waiting for Red 1 to tell me whether or not he thinks the weather is suitable to start the second part, and I'll get an update to you very shortly. Right, ladies and gentlemen, have you enjoyed the first part of the show so far? Excellent. Well, it is about to get even better. Red 1's going to start the second part of the display. At the front of Dagger are Reds 1 to 5, known as Enid, after Enid Blyton's famous 5. And at the back are 6 to 9, known as Jippo. So now, cameras ready. Rolling out straight towards us. The smoke is about to come on. Enid at the top, Jippo at the bottom. Here we go, about to start the second part of our show with the detonator.
Enid, right.
Enid, break, go, says red one. They fan out at the top. Now, keep your eyes on Jippo. With his smoke changing from blue to white on the right-hand side is red 6. He's the leader of the synchro pair. Flight Lieutenant Tom Bold. Tom's in his third and final year in the team. He's a former flying instructor on the Tucano aircraft, and then on the front line he flew the Typhoon. So that's Tom on the right, and he is followed by red 8. We look left, smoking is red 7, chased down by red 9. 4 jets now descending to just 100 feet. Their closing speed is a staggering 820 miles per hour. Get your cameras ready, here we go. The Jippo Pass! Turn, says red 6, they keep their smoke on, they go to full power, and they're now turning away from us, pulling 6G, or 6 times the force of gravity. Everything in these pilots' bodies is now 6 times heavier, including their blood, which wants to go from their brains to their feet. So they're working hard now, trying to not pass out, fighting the G-force as they fly the Cyclone. Synchro once again going to cross out the front in what we call the slingshot. But now look to your right to find Enid. The wings of Enid drop down to form an inverted V-shape. Now look to the left. Here comes a lone jet. This is red 9. He's going to fly through the middle of this V as we see the Goose. Climbing off to our right-hand side with a couple of twinkle rolls was red 9. He's Flight Lieutenant Emmett Cox, and he's in his third and final year in a red flying suit. He's actually from New Zealand, but he moved to the UK in 2002 to join the Royal Air Force and became a Tornado GR4 pilot and Tucano flying instructor. Enid go off to our left as they switch to white smoke, but now look straight ahead to find red 6, 7 and 8.
Enid, smoke off go, just play smoke on go. And see leg off. 7 and 8, roll go!
7 and 8 with the coloured smoke rolling around red 6. They're about to split in the vortex. Up through the middle of the vortex there with the white smoke was red 8. Flight Lieutenant Mike Bowden. Mike's a third-year pilot in the team. He is a former Hawk instructor, Harrier GR9 pilot and Tornado GR4 pilots. Right now we've got the synchro pair back with us. They're around 1,200 feet. They're performing at max power back towards us. They start descending back to 100 feet. Each pilot bringing their aircraft up to 400 miles an hour. They're now pointing back towards each other. They're going to fly the opposition barrel rolls. And now look front left, 45 degrees to find Enid. Dropping down into line astern, stacked top to bottom, reds 1 to 5. Red 1 enters a left-hand turn. The following pilots now using their feet to control the rudder to swing the jets out like a pendulum in line astern. Normally we fly our formations with the odd-numbered pilots on the left, the even-numbered pilots fly on the right. But in this shape it's the other way round. We've got reds 2 and 4 on the left, reds 3 and 5 on the right. But they're about to switch back to their normal sides now by doing this in the slalom. And then now back in their comfort zones, Reds 2 and 4 on the right, Reds 3 and 5 on the left, in battle formation, lining up. Red 1's wingtip with his nose. The pilots don't look at the aircraft next to them. They all have their own references on Red 1's aircraft. They just trust that their wingman will be in the right place. Red 1 calls power tightening, so he's just squeezing to around 4G with the red smoke on, presenting battle. Enid rolling out to our front right. Now bring your eyes further right to find the 4 jets of Jippo.
Smoke off go, Jippo, smoke on go.
This is the Hurricane. Reds 8 and 9 there with the coloured smoke rolling around Synchro, who roll upright and inverted at different stages during that brilliant Hurricane manoeuvre. They position off to our left in escort formation, but now look to your right. Here come Enid as their white smoke comes on. They will be rolling out down the line in loose diamond formation. So looking to the right hand side, here come Enid, ready to fly the Revolution.
Rolling now. Rolling now. Rolling now. Rolling now.
Each of the pilots there in the Revolution performing what we call an aileron roll, essentially a full left-hand control column input which rolls the aircraft very rapidly around its longitudinal axis. Now look straight ahead. There are 4 headlights of Jippo. 8 and 9 with the coloured smoke now rolling around Red 6 and 7. They then roll. Get your cameras ready for the Jippo break.
Go!
With his smoke changing from blue to white on the left-hand side is Red 7. He's Synchro number 2, Flight Lieutenant Cy Taylor. Cy is a second-year pilot with the team. He is a former Tornado GR4 pilot, before then moving across to fly the Typhoon, eventually becoming an instructor on number 29 Squadron, teaching new Typhoon pilots how to fly that wonderful aircraft. So now here comes Synchro, back to 100 feet, ready for the double rolls. Pull goes, says Red 6, full power, 6G, upside down now at 300 feet, back down to 100 feet. Now look to the left-hand side to find Enid.
2 and 3, roll.
The inside pilots pitch up to the outside in the rollbacks. Enid finishing their very colourful and dynamic rollbacks to our right as they enter a left-hand turn. Now looking left and right again for the Synchro pair and their final manoeuvre. This time Red 6 left and Red 7 right. Here they come with their white smoke on, closing at 800 miles an hour. They're about to cross 3 times in opposing 360-degree turns, pulling 6G. Here we go, Synchro and the carousel. Once again, full power, 6G. Remember, the pilots are working very hard not to black out with that blood going from their brains to their feet, so they've got special inflating trousers to try and stop that happening. Swapping at the back, you'll notice they've just swapped their smoke colour from red to blue and vice versa. Around the front, they'll go back to white smoke. And now it's your turn, everybody here in air. Please put your hands together for the synchro pair. Now in the distance, you can see 7 headlights as once again Enid have been joined by Reds 8 and 9 for the display's finale. Here they come with the white smoke on. 1 rolling, says Red 1. He puts his red smoke on. He is now drawing the symbol for infinity around the rest of the formation. This is the infinity break. You've been watching the Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team, the